Okay. ठीक है सर, हम लाइव आ गए हैं. लेट्स वेट फॉर 5 मिनट्स. तो कुछ ऑडियंस आते ही लेट्स स्टार्ट देन.
तो यूट्यूब पे मुझे कुछ दिख तो रहा नहीं है इस लिंक पे, वो तो कुछ स्क्रीन सेवर चल रहा है अभी वो।
मैं आपको लिंक शेयर कर देता हूँ एक बार.
नहीं नहीं, जो लिंक कभी शेयर किया था वही
नहीं
है
नहीं,
ना?
वो रिमूव कर
या
दिया
कुछ
है.
चेंज किया है?
वो रिमूव कर दिया है. वी आर गेटिंग लाइव फ्रॉम अ न्यू लिंक. तो वहाँ से क्या कहते हैं, हम इस पे कर लेंगे. जस्ट अ मोमेंट.
कार्तिक ने अभी अभी फिर से शेयर किया है।
दैट इज़ द लेटेस्ट लिंक. ओके. हाय कार्तिक.
क्या ठीक आ रही है? ओरिएंटेशन वगैरह ठीक है? कहीं लेफ्ट राइट हिलने की जरूरत लग रही है?
नहीं नहीं सर, ओके रिपोर्ट है. इट्स वर्किंग फाइन.
ठीक है।
बस 1 मिनट में हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. ओके सर, हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. आई गेस द क्राउड वुड बी जॉइनिंग स्लोली. तो ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट देन. First of all, welcome to you all to this live session. Usually we do this live session on Instagram, but due to some technical issues, we are now live on YouTube directly. And This live session is about speaker spotlight, wherein very esteemed guest speakers come on the show and they share their knowledge and their experience with us, and we get to learn more and more with these experienced speakers, wherein they share their knowledge, what they have experienced in their overall career, and this is the main motto behind this spotlight speakers. So today, as ritual, we have another special guest speaker with us. His name is Toastmaster Sanjeev Gupta. To tell about him professionally, he has 28 years of experience in telecom industry, and after that, he is now a freelancer as a career and leadership coach, and is also pursuing investment field as well. I hope that is correctly mentioned, sir. That I have correctly mentioned.
Yes, Himanshu, that's
And
fine.
with Toastmaster Sanjeev has been affiliated for past 4 years, more than 4 years now, wherein he has been with multiple clubs, mainly with Toastmaster Club of West Delhi, that is with us, and he has now shifted to Greater Noida, wherein he is affiliated to two more clubs as well. Right, sir.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjeev, for coming online and joining with us and giving your presence in this speaker spotlight. I've been myself been personally looking forward for this session with you, because it's been a long time that you have been at our club, and we surely miss you more at the club. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjeev, for your gracious presence in this speaker spotlight.
Oh, Himanshu, it's my pleasure to join back with you and be part of the club where I have spent my longest years in Toastmasters.
Exactly, sir. I mean, we have seen many experienced member at the club, and usually the motive behind this speaker spotlight is to get to know about these speakers, the like you, like Toastmaster Bhavya, and many other members who have been with us in the club. Though as a new member, we tend to be a bit shy to approach the experienced people, but when we get to know that there is much to learn, and you have certainly so much knowledge to share with us. So again, thank you so much, sir, for giving your presence in this speaker spotlight.
It's my pleasure, and I think it's a very good initiative, Himanshu, that you guys have taken at TMWD. And believe me, wherever I go in Toastmasters, I always tell that TMWD is one of the best club I have seen so far.
That is totally correct, sir. Because I have seen many times that the activity we have around here, the people we have around here, the experience we have, that is on another level.
Himanshu, I can't hear you here.
Now you can hear me now, sir.
Yes, yes.
So that thing is very to the next level. I mean, we people see that okay, the vibe is so much good around here that we do learn something, we do get to know something, and we improve ourselves more and more. So let's start with
Yeah,
this.
that's how it should be.
Yes, sir. So let's start with this speaker spotlight. Now, the first question that I asked, that is usually with every other speaker we have on this show, is can you tell us your experience and your moment ever since you have become a Toastmaster?
Okay. So, Himanshu, if I go back in life around 4 years back, so I had left my corporate job around 2000, like towards the end of 2018,
Okay,
and that's where I wanted to be a freelancer. So, after experimenting with a couple of options, so I thought to start my or restart my second innings or my second career, as I fondly call it, as a career mentor and a coach.
okay,
Wanted to leverage my experiences about my leadership experiences and my life experiences. So I was looking for a platform where I can polish my public speaking skills and interacting with people. What was happening in my previous role was that it was all technical role, and we were always talking about statistics, SLAs, KPIs, only technical stuff. So I was not very used, uh, or I let's say I was not very comfortable talking to people for on topics which are of general nature of people's interest or where the topics are related to people. So Toastmaster gave me that platform, and I had joined Toastmasters in September 2019. And since then, it has given me a platform where I am able to polish my skills as a public speaker, polish my skills as a leader, as a voluntary leader, to be very specific. Because earlier in corporate, you are a leader or a manager, but
Exactly.
then that's a line of authority you have. So people will follow your commands. But in Toastmasters, it's different.
Exactly.
Being a voluntary organization, you cannot force anyone. So you have to uh, sort of get all the work done in a collaborative approach, and that's where, like I love to call, you learn the real art of leadership. So there's a like you read a lot about difference between manager and a leader, but frankly speaking, I realized this when I came to Toastmasters because you don't have any direct line of authority. You can't order anyone to do what you want.
Exactly.
So in whatever EC positions I had been holding as a treasurer, as a president, as an area director, you have to approach people with let's say folded hands,
Mhm.
so you can't push too much. So that's where your true leadership qualities come out. How to how to get people along with on your side and get certain activities or certain tasks done either for the club level or area level or whatever position you are having. And Toastmaster gave that wonderful platform where you learn the art of leadership. So I call it a art because often people think that leadership you can just do by commanding people, and there are certain rules, and you can read through some management books, and you will become a leader. It's not like that. You have to practice leadership day in and day out, and
Exactly.
especially if you are into a voluntary organization. So I think Toastmaster gave me that platform where I could really put really practice the actual true leadership qualities.
That is rightly said, sir. I mean, whenever the first day when I entered in Toastmaster, that was exactly the feeling which I felt. I mean, I wasn't aware that, okay, this is the thing that we usually do on this club. This is the thing that we follow. But once you get the gist of it, once you get the feel of it, and once you get to know your surroundings at Toastmaster, you get to know, okay, this is something else. This is entirely something else. You are sure that you know something, but at the end you get to know, okay, there are some more aspects that you need to learn. There are so more things that you can explore overall. So
Himanshu, I'm losing your voice.
yeah, now I'm audible now, sir.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, that is the exact thing that made me go with the EC role, and this is the second time in the past 1 year that I am been with an EC team, and I know how it feels for an individual when he joins an leadership role, when he joins something, that is beyond his capability, but he or she still tries how it is. So yeah, that is correctly said. But coming back to the point, as you said, you have been in multiple leadership role. To be precise, you have been treasurer twice. You have been a club president as well, and you have also been the area director. That is also twice. So speaking of that, again the question would be that how was the experience when you came to this role? I mean the leadership role that you have taken up multiple times. What was the impact or what was the experience that you had, and how it impacted in certain way in your life?
Himanshu, I'm losing you again.
Now yeah, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so should I repeat the question again?
Yeah, just the last part of it.
Okay. So my question was, the last part was that how did it impacted you? in your personal life when you took up these kind of roles?
Okay. Actually, I'm losing your voice in between, but what I understand your question is about what kind of a impact or influence uh, the various leadership roles had on me while I was at Toastmasters.
Exactly,
Is that
exactly.
right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, talking about the impact and my experiences, as I said, Toastmasters being a voluntary organization, uh, you really learn the art of real leadership. When I say real leadership, means that people follow you or people work for you, not out of any fear or anything, but voluntarily. So
Yes.
just to give some examples, like while I was president at Toastmasters Club West Delhi, of course I had a team with So the experience there was like whenever I wanted to call for a meeting, or there were of course lot of issues that we needed to discuss about running the club smoothly and managing everything. So it was always had to be a collaborative approach. I had to sort of take everyone's opinions and feedback. Okay, we want to do this. What's everyone thinks about it? So once we arrive at a consensus, everyone agrees, okay, this is what we need to do. And even if there are some differences, means there would obviously be some differences here and there. Uh, but still we need to take into account and agree on an overall consensus. Okay, shall we go ahead doing this activity or that activity? So I think that consensus building thing itself uh, gives you a great experience of how to take everyone with you while you are making any decision or any choice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. It's not like you make a decision yourself and tell it everybody that let's say we are going to do this particular thing. So when you are talking to everyone, you have to share why you are doing this activity. So that builds trust with other EC members and with club members. Often we did a lot of surveys and polling with the club members. Like one example I remember, there had to be increment of the fees
Okay.
at one point. Like we were just passing through the corona phase, like COVID phase was about to get over,
Mm-hmm.
and during that phase we had in fact reduced the fees, and then when COVID phase was over, we had to increase the fees again because the venue cost had increased. The venue which we had earlier, that what they were charging was quite less before corona, and after that they increased the fees. In fact, that was not available. So we had to run a poll, take consensus from everyone in the club.
Mm-hmm.
We had to increase the fees, and this is the rationale of increasing the fees. So you have to take everyone along, and that consensus building itself teaches you a lot of things: how to understand emotions of everyone, how to take into consideration everyone's views. So that's an activity that teaches you a lot, which you normally very difficult to learn in a corporate, because there whatever decision you take is to some extent you do take views from subordinates, but you don't have to do such an elaborate exercise about consensus building. So
Exactly.
that's something I learned very well there. And then as a area director, like I had multiple clubs and not even multiple clubs. There were different types of clubs. There was an institutional club, there was a community club,
Mm-hmm.
there were corporate clubs. So in Toastmasters, you generally have some challenges around corporate clubs because they have their own way of working. So there again, while dealing with corporate clubs, you have to be very, very careful that you are not intruding into their domain or trying to dictate too much to them. So there again, it has to be sort of a consensus building and explaining your side that this is how you want to run the Toastmasters, and you have to explain what is the importance of DCP goals, what is the importance of certain activities that we do in Toastmasters, and while making them understand, you yourself go through it and you are learning.
Yes.
So it's sometimes it's very easy to tell people that okay, do this, do that, but when you have to explain, you yourself come to know okay, what is the difference, what is the importance of this particular activity. Like for example, MOT.
Mm,
As a member, you will not realize what is MOT or moment of truth, as we all know, and what is its importance. But when you have to explain it to others and convince others that this is why we are doing this activity, so you yourself get a clarity, and then that internally also helps you to understand it better and take it to the members and explain it to the members.
exactly.
So I learned during my leadership roles at Toastmasters.
I mean, certainly, sir, this is a true fact. Even we, our current EC team, faced the similar scenario which you explained, that the fees hike was there, and it was a very tough job to explain to a member that why the fees has been hiked, or why this scenario has been created. So certainly,
Yeah,
whenever we are in this situation, we get to know how we can tackle it. I mean, this not just only helps us in that current scenario, but in our overall life as well. We are getting trained how to take certain decision in certain scenarios, which is probably not even in your power as well. These kind of
again lost you, Himanshu.
now I'm audible now, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So these kind of stuff does teach one that okay, if you face certain scenario, you have the power, you have the will to still face that and take decision according to it. What suits you best? What suits the scenario best? So yeah, it does creates an impact whenever one takes a leadership role. It is truly said. So now moving forward, as we are certainly talking about leadership, there's one thing that you wanted to discuss, and I literally want to ask that because this is certainly something that I would like to learn more about.
Hmm.
So, is there any aspect of leadership that you believe is most important to you? Am I audible now, sir?
Himanshu,
Am I
yeah,
audible?
yeah, you have to repeat the last part because
Okay.
on and off you are becoming inaudible.
Okay, okay, no issues, no issues. So, my question was is there any aspect of leadership that you believe is most important to you?
Yeah. So leadership, again, leadership is a big, I'll say, big Pandora box.
Okay.
So there are millions and millions of texts and books and material, millions of pages of material available on leadership. But what I believe is that leadership starts from you yourself. So first, you have to manage yourself as a leader, like what I call self leadership. So
Okay.
until and unless you are able to manage yourself, there is no point in managing others. If you are not able to manage yourself, how can you manage others? I remember a famous Hindi prayer. I think it's from some movie, old movie. It goes like this: that prayer. हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करें, दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करें. So
Nice.
meaning, God give me so much strength that I am able to control or manage myself. And before I go and try to conquer others, I should be able to conquer myself. So self leadership is all about controlling yourself, understanding who you are, your values, beliefs, what kind of goals you have, what kind of uh, emotional, like how you are emotional, what is your emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. Because there are a lot of aspects about self that govern your outer persona. And when you want to be in a leadership position, people would follow you, not your words, mind it. People will follow your actions. Saying something is very simple, you do this, you do that. But people watch your actions, that what you are actually doing.
Exactly.
And that's what they see you. If you are able to have a good persona or good personality or good behavior, That's what people like. So before going ahead and giving orders to other or getting work done, you have to manage yourself, and that is why I feel self leadership is the most important aspect when you set out on a leadership journey.
Okay. That is correctly said. But based on that, there is a doubt that I have. Is willpower is
Lost you
someone?
again.
Am I audible now, sir? Okay. So I wanted to ask that is willpower, is someone's willpower is included in self leadership?
Yes. So self, as I said, self leadership consists of lot of aspects.
Okay.
So starting with understanding who you are, like you have to connect with yourself, you have to understand your values, your belief systems, and then uh, there is something called, as you said, willpower. Willpower is ability to control yourself or self management.
Okay.
So if you have a strong willpower to take certain actions, if you have taken certain decision, like say for example, you say I want to daily get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and run 5 kilometers. Unless you have a strong willpower,
Hmm.
you won't be able to complete that activity.
Exactly.
So willpower is certainly a very important aspect about self leadership. In fact, I'll say willpower is one of the most important because unless you have a very strong willpower or you are a very strongly willed person, you won't be able to complete various actions or the various goals that you have set out for yourself.
Exactly. I mean, that is something that I always think, okay, I have to do something and I have to have that will with me. Okay, I
Yes, of
I have
course.
some task with me, I have some challenges with me, and I need to do that. I need to face that. But unless my willpower doesn't have that much in it, I won't be able to do that unless I do so. We say that we look for guidance for someone else. We say that we are. Am I audible now, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So it is said that we look for someone to get some guidance. It is said that we look for someone to get some suggestion. But
Mhm.
at the end, the suggestion would be given, the guidance would be given. But unless someone is not eager to do that or not willing to, have that thing done, then I believe the person won't be able to move on. The person won't be able to improve. So yes, that was something that I was struggling to understand, that uh, to have yourself managed well, to have yourself getting the willpower, better willpower, you get to do many things. You get to explore many things, and you get to be a better person. So thank you so much, sir, for shedding the light on self leadership. Uh, moving ahead.
Himanshu, I've been losing you again. Can you
Okay.
repeat the last part, what you said?
I mean, sir, thank you so much that this is something that we all were eager to know, that self leadership is something that a person should understand, a person should inculcate in their own lives. Because there are certain part of your life that you have to take control. You have to, do something about it, until and unless, because you cannot move forward once you are not able to do that. So thank you
I'll
so
say
much, sir.
another important aspect of self leadership is self analysis.
Okay.
So you have to try to understand yourself. What kind of strengths you have, what kind of weaknesses you have, what is it that you are lacking, and how you can bridge the gap between where you are currently and where you want to go.
Okay.
So there will always be some delta between, let's say you are here right now and you want to go at this place. So this
Okay.
delta, this journey needs to be completed. So you need to analyze what all are the gaps which you need to cover. So that's a very important perspective. Self analysis is a very important perspective about leadership.
So a person has to understand. A person has to understand that. okay, he is lacking of something, he needs to or she needs to work upon it. So until and unless he or she doesn't understand it, there is no point that they are trying and just looking for results.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is truly said, analysis is something that a person needs to have. That is why there are various methods that a person do tend to find peace as well, peace of mind as well, because they understand, okay, this is something that is bugging me again and again, this is something that is distracting me again and again. So rightly said, this is something that a person should analyze
yeah.
in order to move forward. Thank you so much, sir. uh, on chat, Shweta, Toastmaster Shweta says hi to you. She
Hi,
joined a bit
Shweta.
late. uh, okay, so moving ahead, there is one thing that I mentioned in your introduction, that you had 28 years of experience in telecom industry, but also you have started a second career path, that is
Mhm.
as a freelancer in leadership coach and in investment sector as well. So I would like to ask that the what was the motivation or the inspiration behind your decision to take this step in your career?
Okay. That's an interesting question, and I guess this also sort of puts a, uh, I won't say limelight, sort of exposes sometimes the hollowness of corporate careers.
Exactly.
See, there's a limit. Sometimes there's a limit to what levels you can rise in a corporate, based on kind of experiences or the kind of work that you are doing. So sometimes what happens, you hit a glass ceiling that there is no further growth,
Okay.
and the kind of work that you are doing gets repeated over and over again, and you don't find it challenging enough, or you don't find much fun in that. So either you have to sacrifice something on, let's say, your personal front or your priorities. If you, like, for example, you might have to go out of the country or travel to some other place, or it could be anything. At that time, probably you need to make a choice that what is your priority and what is it that you like to do, you want to do going ahead in your life. So I also sort of came about for a similar situation. I had grown to a certain level, and after which I was finding my growth very difficult in the corporate sector. And then I was also thinking maybe 7 to 8 years down the line, when I have my official retirement age, then what is it that I am going to do? So then I took this decision. Okay, enough of these operations and rat race of hogging in the corporate. Let's start with something else. So at that point, I took the decision that I'll do freelancing, and I had certain ideas in my mind. I did explore with lot of ideas, and then I settled. Okay, or maybe then I settled on two things actually. One was, as I said, investments,
Okay.
and the other one was doing something for the society, or giving something back to the society by using my all my corporate experience and my personal life experiences. So then that was the point when I thought, okay, let's set up something on my own as a freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I started working with as a career mentor, and started exploring some other businesses as well. Found that, okay, instead of getting yourself directly into operations, it's better you become an investor, analyze the businesses, invest where it is good,
Mm-hmm.
where you find it's a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, I had this career mentoring and coaching thing that came up for me,
Okay.
which I liked, the concept of helping others, and in the process helping society overall. So that's why I started approaching both in both these directions.
Mm-hmm.
So investments was purely in terms of making sure that I have sufficient money to live and uh, manage my expenses. But then this other side about career mentoring, coaching, and leadership was more to keep that your self-esteem high and uh, getting a sense of achieving something on a regular basis by helping others.
So basically, I would say that you are doing something in your second career path that you surely love to do.
Yes,
You like to do and you enjoy doing it as well.
yes, of course. So that was in fact one of the biggest motivation. As I said, I was feeling sort of stuck and like there was no not much charm left in the kind of work that I was doing because that was getting repetitive. It was same operations job managing networks. So there was nothing, no novelty left in that kind of a job.
I mean, I would certainly agree with you with this point that once you start working somewhere, there's a constant thing that you follow every day, every single day
Yes.
for maybe 10 years, 20 years, give it or take how much time you invest there. But there certainly comes a time wherein you surely think that, okay, now I feel this is something constant. I'm not getting something out of it. I'm not getting those feeling that okay, I am enjoying myself. I am enjoying the surroundings that I'm working at.
Yeah.
That certainly makes you take a decision that okay, now it's time to start something side by side and to make that a career path and to follow that, which you certainly love.
Yeah, but I'll just like to point out one thing here for all the audience who are listening.
Yes.
Taking such a decision is never an easy thing, and it also depends on your circumstances.
Okay.
So luckily, I had that financial independence. I had that kind of an environment where I could take that decision of living my corporate life, living a bad salary which comes at the end of the month, living that life and all like starting my career like fresh. The piece of advice or a suggestion I have is that get into habit of saving and investments early in your career. So that will at least guarantee you some financial independence in your professional life. And God forbid, whenever you want to take such a decision or you are just bored of your professional life and you want to change tracks, so that will give you sufficient buffer to manage the transition period. So that's very important. Because I know there were so many colleagues, like I still talk to various colleagues who want to get out of it but can't do just because many of them don't have that financial independence.
I mean, I would certainly agree on that. Just to carry on with this point, I have something to share with it. I mean, now listening to you, now I can relate somehow that I did make a good decision. So, as you said, working in a corporate life makes you kind of a constant figure. You are working a single routine and you are working day in, day out on a single routine, and nothing is changing. This is what is happening to me or was happening to me before 6 months before. But recently, I took a huge decision.
Okay.
I started with my college friend and I started my own startup that is regarding to graphic designing. When I started this there was this thing that was constantly speaking behind my head that have I taken a good decision? Have I taken the decision on a right time? Have I taken a decision that would certainly make me
Sorry,
happy?
Manshu, missing you again.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, have I made a decision that would certainly make me happy in the coming days or in the coming years? But now, after 6 months, after piling up so many creative ideas in my mind and now implementing it, I do realize that okay, I did took a risk while starting something, but actually I did start something that would certainly give make my future days more fruitful, make my future days more great, and make me in that position that one day I'll be so in a better position that I'll be quitting my job and I'll be focusing on my startup that I started years ago. So now listening to you, now I can, just congratulate myself that okay, I took a huge courage to take this kind of decision and I started something. And sir, you said it correctly that this is something a person should look out for, but obviously looking out with some factors that are you okay to start this thing? Are you okay? You have certain backup so that you can start something of your own. So, Sanjeev sir, that is, I mean, I would thank you to make me feel comfortable about what I am doing right now. And I mean, this is some, this is something that I feel that many of us can follow. They can achieve their dreams. They can, follow their passion, what they want to do after some time.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, sir,
So
for.
again, see, it
Yes, sir.
again comes back to your self analysis. So you have to
Exactly.
analyze your financial thing, your responsibilities, and if you think that you can take a plunge in a career of your choice or whatever you want to do in life, go ahead. So, for example, some of you guys who are into startups, so you are young, you probably do not have that much family responsibilities. So, I think it's the right time to experiment with different career options.
Exactly. I mean, this is something, of course, you said it correctly, and now I realize that this is something that I actually did before starting something. I analyzed each and every aspect that I can go through, and I did do the part which I was thinking of doing it. So, again, thank you so much, sir, for shedding the light on it and making us all realize that there are something that you need to look out for to improve more, to, grow more. So, thank you so much, sir, on that. Uh, Okay, there are two things that are left to discuss. One thing that,
Hmm.
sir, you used to share some knowledge or some of your teachings on LinkedIn, I believe,
Hmm.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, now I want to ask that one, if someone wants to share their knowledge on social media, what should they look out for? I mean, what should be the, motive or inspiration behind it? I mean, everyone wants to share their part of knowledge to the society, to the community. But what should be the motivation or inspiration behind it? I mean, you have done that. So, what made you do it?
Sorry, Himanshu, you again need to repeat the last part,
Okay.
but what I understand, or maybe you repeat the
Okay.
last part.
So, I wanted to know that you have already done it on social media, LinkedIn, shared your knowledge. So, what made you motivate, or what motivated you or inspired you to do, to share your teachings to the community over social media?
Okay. So, as I understand, you want to know what is my motivation of sharing some of my experiences or some of my learnings on social media.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, as I said, I am when I embarked on my career as a freelancer. So, one thing is, of course, you need to be noticed on the social media because in today's world, it's often said that if you don't exist on the social media, you do not exist in the world.
Exactly.
Although I'm very weak, is that is one of my weakness. I am not sharing that often. In fact, I need to do it more often. But whatever I have been sharing is out of this that um, there has to be some recognition. And second most important part is that what I am trying to share is from day to day life experiences, trying to convert those day to day life experiences into some form of tangible knowledge. or
Exactly.
some form of like how do you relate that day-to-day experiences into something that can be implemented as a learning in your professional or a personal career. So that had been my focus. Yeah, but of course lately I'm not that active because of some I'll say personal factors. As you know, I recently moved, shifted from West Delhi to Noida, so I
Yes,
was
sir.
a little bit occupied in there, and there were some issues. But yes, I do want to uh, resume my journey on social media, which has been a little at a slow pace for the past few months. But yes, that's the biggest reason that if you are into a freelancing kind of a career, you have to be uh, you have to be known on the social media, or you have to your presence has to be there on the social media.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, that is correctly said. I mean, social media does plays a part when you want to share something to the world, and I believe that this helps your teachings or anyone who want to share their knowledge certainly helps someone out there who is looking for some guidance, who is looking for some answers, who is also looking for some suggestion that he is
Yeah.
facing or she is facing in their daily lives. So, thank you so much for shedding the light on that as well, sir. Uh, Okay, there's one last thing left that I want to ask
Hmm.
you. Though, sir, thank first of all, thank you so much again that you graced your presence in the speaker spotlight. As I said again and again, that I was looking forward
Oh,
to
that's my pleasure.
speak to you. I mean, you have been one of those members in the club that I have been looking forward to speak on this stage and have some knowledge discussion over the live session as well. So, looking into that, I just want to ask one last thing. What kind of advice would you give to someone new who has just joined Toastmasters?
Okay, so to all the new members of the Toastmasters, I'll just have one line. Toastmasters is a platform where you can practice anything, practice leadership, practice public speaking, and you can practice it by failing again and again. So, this is one platform where you can make any type of mistake, any number of mistakes, and still people will commend you for the good part that you have done. Okay. So no, if you make some mistakes in the corporate life or in your professional life, uh, you understand what could be the consequences. But here in
Exactly.
Toastmasters, it's a platform where you come, practice public speaking, practice leadership, and you learn it by making mistakes. So never lose that opportunity to make mistakes and practice it again and again. So my advice would be for all the new Toastmasters, take as many roles as you can. Don't leave any chance to come on stage or taking any role. Whatever little chance you get, even if you get a chance to come on stage for less than a minute, grab that chance because that builds the confidence. So one of the main, as we all know, one of the most known fear is the fear of public speaking and coming on stage. So don't lose that opportunity to come on stage as often as you can.
I mean, exactly this is something that someone should
Take
look
whatever
into.
roles, even if you are not a formal into a formal EC role, take whatever roles or activities, take initiative, take roles.
I mean, sir, you rightly said, and this is something that I would say that I have implemented on myself. I mean, I've been a Toastmaster, just completed my 1 year, and for the past 1 year, I've been in the EC team twice. So this is my second tenure in the past 1 year, and I'm like, okay, I did took a big step. I became a sergeant at arms previously. Now I'm the VPPR of the club, and I do believe that, as you said correctly, that initiative is something that you need to take until and unless you won't be able to learn something, because initiative is something that you have to initiate. You have to show your eagerness to learn. You have to be ready, prepared, and you have to be so much determined to learn something. And
So,
that's
Himanshu, I was losing your voice.
yes, sir. Now I'm audible, wrong, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So yes, you said it correctly. The eagerness to learn is something that motivates someone to achieve more, to learn more, to gain more, and obviously to become a better person. So thank you so much, sir, to give your experience, to explain, to share your experience.
No,
Your
thank you, Himanshu, for arranging this session. And it was my pleasure connecting with you and all my Toastmasters friends in TMWD.
But sir, I would certainly say this is not the last of it, because we are surely planning something more different than our usual speaker spotlight, and we would, as you have been our member at the club, so we are planning to have you again as well in our speaker spotlight in the special session we are going to have very soon. And again, sir, thank you so much for giving your experience to us, for sharing your knowledge to us, and that means a lot. We all have certainly learned many more things that we thought we couldn't have. So thank you so much, sir, again for joining us on our speaker spotlight, and we'll be seeing you soon on our live session again for our special session. And to all the audience, thank you so much for joining in. We have another session in the next week as well on YouTube, most probably, and we'll be rolling out the next guest speaker as soon as possible. So for today, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjeev, for joining us on Speaker Spotlight, and to all the audience. And I would bid you all good day. Thank you so much, guys. See you
Thank you,
soon.
Himanshu, and thanks everyone for whosoever is listening the session. And I'm always there for Toastmasters Club of Wrestling.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. See you
Thank
soon,
you
sir.
and good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Goodbye,
sir.
everyone.
Bye.